Today I want to share with you one of the tools that has helped me the most in my brand design process. It can help you communicate better with your clients, cut down on the number of revisions, and get your designs approved first try. So let's take a look. Welcome back. My name is Marcelo Smith, and my goal here is to help you level up as a designer. And one good way to do this is to improve your processes and tools. And one of the tools that I found the most useful for my brand design process are Stylescapes. In this video, I'll be talking about why they matter, how to make them, and I'll be sharing the template that I use to create them for free so you can use it in your own designs. So first of all, what are Stylescapes? Stylescapes are like mood boards on steroids. So I'd been using mood boards for quite a while already, but I'd never seen Stylescapes in use until I saw Chris Do talking about them, and it was a complete game changer. They're basically compositions that combine different graphic elements like colors, typography, photography, and they're used to set the tone and creative direction, usually for brand identity. The good thing about Stylescapes is that they really let you get a good idea of what the final brand's going to look like. And even though nothing in the initial Stylescapes is a final design proposal, they help paint a much higher definition picture of the creative direction and the brand identity than a mood board can. But what is really the difference between a mood board and a Stylescape? Mood boards can definitely be a great tool to use at the initial steps of any design. They're typically composed of different images that are curated and selected as inspiration. But the only drawback here is that there's no real relation between the different images. So the way you transfer that mood board to the final design is still left pretty open. Stylescapes, on the other hand, include a variety of different images and graphics for inspiration, but they combine them all together into one cohesive unit. And this helps us get much closer to what the brand's going to look like at the end. So in case you're still asking yourself, why should we use Stylescapes? I think Stylescapes can really help define your ideas and concepts and create different creative directions in a pretty fast and efficient way. They can also help the client visualize the brand better, because if you've only got a mood board, then maybe that's really clear for you, but sometimes for the clients it can be hard to see how that's going to translate into the final design. When you put it all together in a Stylescape, it's much easier for them to imagine the final brand and point out what works and what doesn't. And the good thing is that once your Stylescape's approved, it's going to be so close to the final brand design that you're going to be much more certain that you're going in the right direction. And that way you'll get your designs approved faster and a lot less revisions. Just compare the time that you would spend putting together a full brand presentation for your client, only to have it rejected and have to redo the whole thing, compared to knocking out 3 Stylescapes, presenting those, and seeing which one fits the brand better. It may seem like more work at first, but in my experience, anything that can let you build up gradually to what the final design is going to be and reduce the amount of rejections or revisions is going to end up saving you time and problems in the long run. So that's the why, but when do we use Stylescapes? For me, personally, I don't use mood boards as a deliverable or something that I present formally, but I do start almost every project with a mood board. But what I do is keep it pretty open and pretty broad. And if I do revise the mood board with a client, I'll just go through the images with them, asking them questions just to make sure that we're on the same page to start working. And after that is when I'll make the Stylescapes, and I will present those to the client and tell them to choose one. Typically I'll present several directions, with 3 being a good number, but it really depends on the project. The next question is, how do you design your Stylescape? Before you open your design software, you should have already defined the brand strategy, because this is what's going to guide the creative direction for the brand. And one useful part of the brand strategy that we'll be using here are the brand attributes. So the brand attributes are basically the key characteristics and values of a brand. They're like the brand's personality traits. And one thing we can do here to create different directions is group together different attributes and create Stylescapes for each one of those groups. So let's say, for example, we have a brand with the attributes feminine, energetic, healthy, vibrant, natural, and diverse. So we can divide them into 2 groups of 3 and create one Stylescape for each one of those groups. So this will give us different results and let us explore different creative directions for our brand identity. Now I'm going to show you the process that I follow and the template I use for creating Stylescapes. Okay, so here we've got an example, and we're going to break it down because at first sight it can seem a bit chaotic, but let's take a bit of a deeper look. So if we look at starting here on the left, we've got the name of the brand, and we want to set that in a typeface that matches the style we're going for. And then a series of colors, which is where I like to start by defining the colors. We've got some elements here that are designed for this specific case, like these backgrounds and these typography elements here. And then some examples of different designs that fit like the colors and the general vibe of the Stylescape, like posters, print elements, and also combining that with some digital layouts, examples of user interfaces or social media posts, and then some photography here at the end that we've edited and changed the colors to make it fit the style of the brand. And then in the background, we've got some elements that kind of tie the whole thing together, like some more typography, photography, and some of these like colors over there. So if we come over here and we see the template that's underlying here, this is like the general structure that you can follow to make sure you cover like all the elements you want to appear in the Stylescape. Starting here, we have the brand name, the colors, layouts, print material, typography, digital layouts and social media, and an example of some photography at the end. So you can use this as a base template and just start adding elements and then positioning them until they look good. And yeah, that's about it. If you want to use this template, I'm going to share it for free. I'll leave the link up there or down in the description. And you can use it in Photoshop or Illustrator, just whichever one you prefer. And as for what to actually include in the designs, well, you can use your own design elements, you can use images you find for inspiration, or you can use a mixture of both. Typically what I'll do is I'll piece together some existing designs with some elements that I've designed myself and some stock images that fit the brand. And then I'll edit everything, I'll color correct the images, remove the backgrounds to make it all nice and consistent and integrated. And that pretty much wraps it up. Let me know in the comments if you use Stylescapes as part of your own process. And yeah, thanks for watching and see you in the next one. Bye.